I hope you all are fine at your homes. I am Priya Rasik Kumar Savla, and before discussing the topic, let's first go through the case report. Meena, a young adult female, was admitted to the hospital with intense headache, abdominal discomfort for the past 5 days. She had also developed fever. It is of remittent type with gradual rise in a step ladder fashion. On examination, she was toxic with temperature of 101 degree Fahrenheit. Tongue was coated and mild splenomegaly was present. Here, there are some points of diagnosis of a case, that is, fever of remittent type with stepladder fashion and splenomegaly. So, the diagnosis is typhoid fever. Let's start the topic typhoid fever. The introduction. The causative agent is Salmonella typhi, which was formerly called Ehrlichia bacillus or Ehrlichia typhi. Classification. Antigenic classification or Kaufman-White classification. This is based on the antigenic structures, that is somatic O antigen and flagellal H antigen detected by agglutination. There are some serogroups based on the O antigen, and these serogroups are further differentiated into serotypes, which are 2500 in Salmonella species. Another classification is molecular classification, that is divided into two species, Salmonella enterica and Salmonella bongeri. Salmonella enterica is further divided into 6 subspecies. The third classification is clinical classification, which I would describe in detail. It is typhoidal salmonella and non-typhoidal salmonella. Typhoidal salmonella includes serotypes Salmonella typhi and Salmonella paratyphi, which causes enteric fever. Non-typhoidal salmonella causes foodborne gastroenteritis and septicemia. Now let's see about the antigenic structures. First, we will see the differentiation between the O, that is somatic antigen, and H, that is flagelllar antigen. The somatic antigen is a part of cell wall lipopolysaccharide, whereas flagelllar antigen is made up of flagellin protein. It is heat stable, alcohol stable, and formaldehyde labile of O antigen, and H antigen is heat labile, alcohol labile, and formaldehyde stable. In Vidal test, O antigen of Salmonella typhi is used, and in H antigen, Salmonella typhi, Salmonella paratyphi A and B are used. O antigen is less immunogenic, whereas H antigen is more immunogenic. When O antigen reacts with O antibody, it forms compact, granular, chalky clumps. When H antigen reacts with H antibody, it forms large, loose, fluffy clumps. Agglutination takes place slowly in O antigen, whereas it takes place rapidly in H antigen. Now the third type is VI antigen. It is nothing but a surface polysaccharide envelope or capsular antigen covering the O antigen. It is found rarely in few serotypes such as Salmonella typhi, Salmonella paratyphi C, Salmonella dublin, and some strains of Citrobacter frundi, that is the Bollerup Bethesda group. This VI antigen, it reacts with O antisera, but agglutination does not take place. But when it is boiled or heated at 100 degrees Celsius for 1 hour, the VI antigen is removed and the O antigen reacts with O antisera and agglutination takes place. VI antigen is poorly immunogenic. VI antibody usually disappears early in a convalescence, but if persists, it indicates a carrier state. It can also use for vaccination. Now we will go through the pathogenesis. The infective dose of Salmonella is 10 raised to 3 to 10 raised to 6 bacilli. Some of the risk factors that promote transmission are due to decreased stomach acidity and intestinal integrity. Here we can see the M cells through which the Salmonella enters, and it leads to bacteria-mediated endocytosis. After that, these bacilli enters the macrophages and survive there for a period. After that, primary bacteremia takes place. From there, the Salmonella bacilli disseminate through the reticular endothelial tissues, that is liver, spleen, lymph node and bone marrow, through which secondary bacteremia takes place. Now let's go through some clinical manifestations. Fever, that is step-ladder pattern of remittent type, which is the diagnostic characteristic of typhoid fever. As seen in the picture, we can also see rashes, also called rose spots. Hepatosplenomegaly and relative bradycardia are also some of the important signs. Some early intestinal manifestations are also seen. Some complications such as gastrointestinal bleeding and intestinal perforation, as seen in the picture, are seen in the 3rd and the 4th week of the illnesses. Some neurological manifestations containing neuropsychiatric symptoms like muttering delirium or coma vigil is observed. As you can see in this, you definitely remember some case of typhoid fever. Yes, you are right. The well-known case of typhoid Mary. Now let's see the laboratory diagnosis of Salmonella. First is culture isolation. As you can see, it depends on the duration of illness which specimen to be collected in the 1st week, 2nd week, 3rd week, 4th week and the carrier state. Culture smear and motility. Salmonella is a motile organism which is gram-negative bacilli. As seen in the picture, this is the microscopic picture of Salmonella typhi. Biochemical identification. It is catalase positive, oxidase negative, indole negative, citrate positive, triple sugar ion test shows alkaline is to acid and gas is present, except for Salmonella typhi, which is an anaerogenic. Methyl red is positive and Vogel's Proscore test is negative. Sugar fermentation test includes glucose, mannitol, arabinose, mannitol, dalcitol and sorbitol. Serum antibody detection, which is the Vidal test. It is agglutination test where H and O antibodies against Salmonella typhi and Salmonella paratyphi A and B are detected and measured in the patient's sera by using O and H antigens. The antigens used are O antigen of Salmonella typhi, that is TO, H antigen of Salmonella typhi, TH, H antigen of Salmonella paratyphi A, that is AH, and H antigen of Salmonella paratyphi B, BH. The parathyroid O antigen cross-react with the typhoid O antigen due to this sharing of factor 12, hence they are not used in the test. The interpretation of the Vidal test is seen in the slide. There is rise of TO and TH antibody in enteric fever due to Salmonella typhi. Rise of TO and AH antibody in enteric fever caused by Salmonella paratyphi A. Rise of TO and BH antibody in enteric fever due to Salmonella paratyphi B. And rise of only TO antibodies represent the recent infection. Rise of TH antibody represents convalescent stage or anamnestic response. And in vaccination, there is rise of all TH, AH and BH antibodies. Some other tests are slide agglutination test. In that, identification of Salmonella at genus level can be confirmed. Other tests are antigenic detection. Molecular methods. In molecular methods, there is ELISA test and polymerase chain reaction, that is PCR. Other non-specific methods are WBC counts. In that, Neutropenia, leukocytosis occurs. Some liver function tests are moderately deranged and muscle enzyme levels moderately elevated. And antimicrobial susceptibility testing. The treatment of typhoid fever depends on the susceptibility of the strains. Currently recommended drugs are third generation cephalosporins, example ceftriaxone, azithromycin, fluoroquinolines. Some drugs that were used in the past are chloramphenicol, amoxicillin, and cotrimoxazole. Vaccination. There are three types of vaccines available. Parenteral VI polysaccharide vaccine, which is given only after 2 years of age. Next is typhoral oral live attenuated Salmonella typhi TY21A vaccine, which is given only after 6 years of age. The vaccine is given on alternate days 1, 3, 5, 7 with booster every 5 years orally before food. No antibiotics should be given during this period. And the third vaccine is parenteral TAB vaccine. To summarize what we have discussed, that is classification, pathogenesis, clinical manifestations, laboratory diagnosis, treatment, and vaccination. The message which we should keep in mind is to wash the fruits and vegetables before using, and hand hygiene plays an important role. Thank you.